Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling a really significant topic, something that we know concerns many of you, and, well, one listener specifically asked about it, student stress and well-being in India. Our goal here is to, unpack this whole perform or perish culture and maybe offer an evidence-based toolkit to help navigate it.
And it's definitely a stark reality we need to face. The National Crime Records Bureau, the NCRB, their data shows student suicides are 7.6% of all suicides in India.
Wow, 7.6%.
Yeah, it translates to about one student dying by suicide every single hour. That's over 13,000 every year. And what's really deeply concerning is that India's 15 to 29 age group, it has the highest suicide rate in the entire world.
One student an hour. That's just incredibly tough to hear. It really underlines that this isn't, an individual issue. It feels systemic.
Exactly.
The Supreme Court itself called it a suicide epidemic, didn't they? And noted something is seriously wrong with the educational system. So if something is wrong with the system, what are those root causes? What's driving this perform or perish thing?
A lot of it stems from the education system itself, which is, well, it's set up like a high-stakes game, a real rat race. It's fueled by these incredibly competitive, exam-focused entrance tests. Think JGE for engineering, NEET for medicine. They're often seen as a sort of all-or-nothing gamble.
Right. Everything riding on one exam.
Precisely. And there's this huge emphasis on rote memorization, plus this massive cottage industry of coaching centers, like in Kota, places where something like 2/3 of students are getting extra tuition.
That sounds like intense pressure. And how much of that pressure comes from, say, family?
Oh, it's huge. Parental and family pressure consistently comes up as a top stressor. We're talking affecting as many as 96% of higher secondary students.
96%. That's almost everyone.
It is, and often these parental expectations are quite specific, maybe unrealistic dreams of certain careers, doctor, engineer. This can lead to real feelings of sadness, anxiety, when kids feel they just can't meet those goals. And, the really painful part, 73% of students feel they actually can't talk to their parents about their problems.
Why is that?
Often it's because of constant comparisons to cousins, friends, and this fear of, queries from neighbors or relatives. What will people say?
That's a heavy burden. So with all this pressure, how do we tell the difference between normal stress and something more serious? We know stress is immediate, anxiety is more persistent worry, and burnout is that deep exhaustion. But when is it a real crisis?
That's the critical question. When does it cross the line into needing immediate help? There are clear signs to watch for. Suicidal thoughts or actions are number one. Talking about wanting to die, looking for ways, self-harm. These are urgent.
Okay.
Severe behavioral changes, like extreme withdrawal, suddenly neglecting hygiene, not being able to do daily tasks, maybe not eating or sleeping for days. Also, losing touch with reality. Things like delusions, hallucinations, really confused thinking, or uncontrollable anger, very extreme mood swings. Those all signal a need for immediate professional help.
Knowing those crisis signs is vital. Okay, so what about managing the day-to-day? What tools can help build resilience? For just immediate relief, like when you feel totally overwhelmed, box breathing is really practical. You just breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, hold for 4. Simple, but it helps calm your nervous system down.
That's a great one.
Another good one is the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding method. You just name 5 things you can see, 4 you can feel, 3 you hear, 2 you smell, and 1 you taste. It just pulls you right back into the present moment.
Absolutely. And beyond those in-the-moment techniques, foundational habits are just crucial. Take sleep.
Right. Often the first thing to go.
Exactly. But sleep isn't a luxury. It's fundamental for learning, for memory. Chronic lack of sleep, it ramps up stress hormones, kills focus. In fact, insomnia is linked to a 10-fold increase in clinical depression risk and a 17-fold increase in clinical anxiety risk. So things like digital curfews before bed, avoiding all-nighters, they matter.
Makes sense.
And quickly, nutrition, that gut-brain connection is real. Whole foods over processed stuff helps. And physical activity. Exercise releases those feel-good endorphins, cuts anxiety. The effect can be comparable to antidepressants sometimes.
Those physical foundations are key.
Yeah.
But what about managing the mind itself? The thoughts?
Yeah.
Yeah, mastering your mental landscape.
Yeah.
Cognitive restructuring is a really powerful technique from CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. It's basically learning to catch, check, and change negative thoughts.
Yeah.
So if you fail a test and think, I am a total failure, you catch that thought. Then you check, is it really true? Am I a total failure because of one grade? And then you change it. Maybe to something like, okay, that grade was bad, but it doesn't define me. It's feedback. What can I learn for next time?
Shifting the perspective.
Exactly. It's strategic, builds resilience, and it helps let go of that damaging perfectionism too.
And on the practical academic side, managing the workload itself is key. The Pomodoro technique can be really useful.
Oh yeah, the timer method.
That's the one. 25 minutes focused work, then a 5-minute break. It breaks tasks down, makes them feel less overwhelming, improves focus. Also, just breaking big assignments into smaller steps. Research paper. Okay, step 1, initial research. Step 2, outline. Step 3, write the intro. Make it manageable.
That breakdown approach seems vital. And speaking of breaking things down, connection is so important, right? Especially talking to parents, which we heard is tough for many. If you need to have that conversation, maybe try framing it around your academic performance. Like you could say something like, Mom, Dad, the pressure is getting so intense, I'm actually finding it really hard to study effectively.
That connects it to something they likely care about.
Right. And then maybe add, I read that talking to a counselor can help students manage this kind of stress better so they can, improve their focus and grades. It links help seeking to performance.
That's a smart approach. And please remember, professional help is there. Many universities have counseling services like the Student Wellness Center at IIT Bombay or the one at St. Xavier's College. Look into what your institution offers. And for immediate crisis support, there are national 247 helplines. Telemunos is 11444-ZINDI or 1-800-891-4416. Also, the Vanderbala Foundation at 999-9666-555. They're even on WhatsApp. Don't hesitate to reach out.
Definitely. It's clear that larger systemic changes are needed to address a crisis this big. But importantly, you listening are not powerless. You really can build resilience within yourself.
Which leads us to a final thought for you to reflect on. What does success really mean to you? Not to your parents or teachers or society, but to you. Thinking about that and trying to align your actions with your own genuine values, well, that's probably the most powerful step towards long-term well-being and finding your own path.